Have you ever wondered why the person earning $150,000 a year often feels just as stressed about money as the person earning 50,000? It seems illogical. If you triple someone's income, you should, in theory, eliminate their financial anxiety. But if you look closely at the professional hubs of the US or Europe, from Chicago to Frankfurt, you see a different reality. You see people who have checked every box of success: the degree, the title, the salary. Yet, they are essentially running on a treadmill that is moving just as fast as they are. They aren't building wealth. They are merely managing a very expensive lifestyle. Let's look at a typical scenario. For a professional in a city like Denver, or perhaps Amsterdam, we'll call her Sarah. Sarah is 32 and works in project management. She earns $105,000 a year. But when we break down the math of Sarah's life, the picture changes. After federal and state taxes, Social Security, and health insurance, Sarah's monthly take-home pay is roughly $6,200. Her apartment, located in a neighborhood that reflects her professional standing, costs $2,400 a month. She drives a European sedan that she financed 2 years ago. Between the loan payment and insurance, that's another $850. Gone. Then there are the student loans, a remnant of the education that got her this high-paying job. Those take $500. After utilities, a mid-tier gym membership, and a modest grocery bill, Sarah is left with about $1,600. This is before she spends a single dollar on what we call life: dinner with friends, a new outfit for a wedding, a weekend trip. By the end of the month, Sarah usually has about $300 left over. She feels successful because her life looks successful, but her net worth is essentially stagnant. The hidden mistake Sarah is making, and the mistake millions of professionals make, is what economists call lifestyle creep. But I prefer to call it the status trap. In the modern world, especially in the US and Europe, we have been conditioned to believe that as our value in the labor market increases, our consumption must increase in lockstep. We view our salary not as a tool to buy our freedom, but as a monthly allowance to be spent. Let's look at the math of a single decision. Imagine Sarah decided to drive a reliable used car instead of the financed sedan. If that decision saved her $500 a month, and she put that money into a simple index fund, after 25 years, that single choice would be worth over $380,000. But Sarah doesn't see $380,000. She sees a $500 monthly payment as a normal part of being a professional. This is the system flaw. We have normalized the idea of renting our status. We don't own the car. We rent the image of the car. We don't own the apartment. We rent the proximity to other high earners. The problem is, the tribe doesn't actually care. Your neighbors are too busy worrying about their own finance cars to truly admire yours. Real wealth is the part of your income that you keep. It's the gap between what you earn and how you live. Financially intelligent people, the ones who actually build wealth while their peers are struggling, think like architects. An architect doesn't look at a pile of bricks and see a wall. They see the structural integrity of the entire building. The intelligent professional views their salary as a decreasing asset. They realize they cannot, or may not want to, sell their labor for 40 hours a week forever. Therefore, the goal of the first 15 years of a career isn't to buy things. It is to buy back the second 15 years. This brings us to the most uncomfortable truth. To build real wealth, you have to be okay with looking unsuccessful to people who are actually broke. In our current society, wealth is quiet and debt is loud. The person who is truly wealthy often drives a 5-year-old Toyota. The person who is high income but zero net worth is the one in the brand new German SUV with the designer watch. Think about the system for a moment. The entire economy is built on your desire to belong. Advertising doesn't sell products, it sells the feeling of being enough. If you feel like you are already enough, you become a very poor consumer. And if you are a poor consumer, you have the potential to become a very rich owner. This isn't about deprivation. It's not about never drinking a latte or never taking a vacation. It's about intentionality. It's about realizing that every time you sign a contract for a recurring monthly payment, you are selling a piece of your future freedom. If you live in London, Paris, or New York, the pressure to conform is immense. But the math doesn't care about your location. A $500 payment is $500, regardless of the zip code. The only thing that changes is the story you tell yourself to justify it. When you stop playing the status game, a strange thing happens. Your stress levels drop. You no longer care if the market is up or down today because your lifestyle isn't dependent on a perfect economy. You gain the power to say no. No to a toxic boss. No to a soul-crushing promotion you don't want. And no to the comparison trap. This is the logical conclusion of financial intelligence. It's not about having the most money. It's about having the most choices. Building wealth isn't a mystery. It's a simple equation of math and temperament. The math is easy. The temperament is the hard part. It requires you to be honest about why you want the things you want. It requires you to be okay with being boring in a world that is obsessed with the new and the shiny. If you can master your own psychology, the numbers will eventually take care of themselves. You don't need a complex strategy. You just need a large gap between your income and your ego. There is no secret formula. There is only the slow, disciplined process of buying back your life, 1 month at a time. It's not flashy. It won't get you likes on social media, but it will give you something much better. If this perspective on wealth made sense to you, consider subscribing. We'll be continuing this conversation on how to navigate the modern economy without losing your mind or your money.